For some unknown reason, mankind has decided that PSX texturing is either, oh, take photo of your face, slap it onto the model, boom, you have PSX textured model. Downloading stock images from the web and doing a shitty unwrapping, downscaling them beyond recognition and calling it a day. And don't get me wrong, there's gold to be found on the internet about texturing and low poly texturing. But look no further, because this is the texturing tutorial you are looking for. So modeling is obviously outside of the scope of this video, but I'm going to quickly introduce you to the bases I've made for this video so you can have a rough idea of what we're working with. The model is based on this pin I found on Pinterest, and I reverse searched the original image. And it's from this Tumblr post. Hopefully it's from the original artist, I have no idea. The process was almost exactly the same as my last tutorial on 3D modeling, except a few improvements to the workflow, to my personal workflow, but nothing major. So we have a 1006 triangles version and a 512 super low poly version of the same model. The reason being, I want to showcase all of the texturing technique for both higher poly models and super low poly models. And about the super low poly model, I have to stand up for this quick explanation and this quick part of the video.
His cursed technique, spatial compression. In an instant, a 1000 triangle mesh is reduced to 512. Not destroyed, compressed. The method is precise. It preserves the silhouette, the outer edge that defines the form, and exaggerates only what matters. What the geometry cannot carry, the texture will. A single triangle carrying the weight of 10. More with less. That is his ability.
So UV unwrapping is like the neglected child of the modeling process. For some reason, it's something you want to get done with a single click, put it in the corner with an iPad in its hands and just forget about it. It's boring as fuck, but it's the fundamental step that builds a great foundation for the texturing process. So if you mess up wrapping, you're going to cry bitter tears when your model looks like this. You're wrapping, it all boils down to chopping up your model and laying it flat on a texture plane. Okay, so here we are in the project. As you can see, I have the two models here, and I'm going to actually focus on lower poly version. I'm going to bring this at the center, and here we are. The first step in UV unwrapping is positioning seams. And this is something you gradually do. Don't place your seams across all the model all at once. So what I want you to do is look at your geometry and mentally divide it into sections that you want to texture in different portions or different regions of your whole texture. So in this case, I probably want to separate the arms from the rest of the torso. I want to divide the front from the back. And I also want to isolate the neck, this part over here, and obviously the head. I actually want to keep the jawline with the rest of the face, since when I'm wrapping it, I want to add some soft shadowing, which you can do if you have a seam. Whenever you have a seam, it means that the regions are going to be separated in the UV space. So by keeping the face continuous, we're going to have some stretching, but we can mitigate that and we can have some better shadows over here. So I'm going to actually keep it like this. I'm going to just pull this a little bit back and this a little bit back, so that it gives the jawline a little bit of a rounder aspect. So now we have our regions. So with our UVs on one side, we can press U and then unwrap angle based. One thing you have to enable is display stretch. Okay, UV stretching. So basically what UV stretching shows you is the greener the region is, the more stretching is happening in that region. This should make into a sense what we're doing here. We're basically taking the model and we're slicing it up, and basically you can kind of think of it like you take a globe and you cut it up and you unroll it on paper. You get what we call maps and shit. So that's basically what we're doing here. We're doing the exact same thing. And what's usually the practice is making sure every region in the model has more or less the same textile density. That means that it occupies the same region of space. Obviously reserve more space for important parts of the model, such as the face that needs more details and such, and you can leave out parts that are not that demanding, like, I don't know, the bottom of the shoes of the character, which nobody cares if it's 5 by 5 in size. So you can use your usual commands here to scale, move around stuff and rotate them. And as you can see, if I scale it up more and more, the textile density increases, while if I decrease it, if I scale it down, it decreases. So right now I'm thinking of how much detail I need for the torso and the shirt of the model. And I'm thinking that I have some ornamental designs that I need to do, those with transparency. But right now it's way too high and I could probably do away with something like this. So I'm going to settle on this size. I'm going to align it with the grid. I'm going to snap it. With this region selected, as you can see, the edges are not perfectly straight, and these you can see this happening on the model itself. So what I usually like to do is select all the edges and scale them. For example, in this case I need these 3 edges on the x-axis by 0. What this essentially does is align them, and we can do the exact same thing with all of the other edges that we can compress. This gives you much more control on how the model is textured, since at these edges of tilted maps you're obviously going to get partial, you're basically cutting up pixels over here, because you have a diagonal line running across this pixel grid. So that is usually pretty bad to do, since you can't always straighten up edges like this, but it's usually good practice and you should probably do it as often as you can. You're going to grow a sense of when you should do it and when you shouldn't. But for example, later when we're going to be texturing the hair, you can't actually do that with these triangles over here. You're going to have to keep them as triangles, because if you straighten them up, it's going to look like shit. Another trick is always look at the UV lines and how they are moving around your model. So for example, in the breast area, I could, to exaggerate the effect of clothing falling down, I could perhaps stretch the UVs in a way that it emulates the lengthening of the clothing. So for example, by doing this, as you can see, the textile density here is stretched, and so we have this stretching effect over this region over here. So I'm going to actually align this in this way that it falls down. Okay, so this is where I left yesterday. And so as you can see, I organized the, so here we have the legs, this is part of the torso, the face, and I also got away with no seams here around the face. There is a little bit of stretching, but it really doesn't matter since I'm not going to add that much detail to the face. And I've actually subdivided my model. I've subdivided my model into major pieces for the head. which are the front and the general. You can, I usually do it like front, sides and back, but I made a big blob of hair and just call it hair general. So we're going to unwrap the front. This is going to be pretty straightforward since I only have this piece over here, this and this other. Okay, so we have them over here. I'm going to check if it's upright. Okay, A1. So the lettering, I do this often to check the orientation of the triangles and scale them up and check how the text in the UV is read. So I'm going to align it this way. Alrighty, so let's see actually what this gives us, and yeah. Okay, so I think we're done with unwrapping. Let's check that everything looks... We can finally move on to texturing, and for this first phase I'm actually going to be painting directly into Blender, since I'm going to be painting just the base of the model in values. Right now my main concern is nailing the contrast throughout the model by painting the luminosity. Okay, so I actually have Krita open on my main screen and you can actually see it right now. I'm probably going to take a screenshot of it. I have the original reference side by side with a black and white version that I just made with a filter on Krita. I'm actually going to be needing a new material for this. Okie dokie, we have it. So let's start. I had no idea the video would turn out this long, so I'm going to cut short. So this is the final model. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I think I really outdid myself with texturing on this one. And I went over with rigging and making a simple face rig for it also. I'm probably going to publish it as an asset on Itch if you would like to study it and take a closer look at it. But with that said, I'm going to have to cut the video here since I won't have any more free time to keep working on this since school is going to be back at it soon. So you're going to have to forgive me for leaving this out for a later date if you would like to see that higher poly version still textured out. This has been all from me. Other remarks, you should probably join my Discord server if you would like to ask me personal questions or just interact with cool people. So either way, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new from this, and I'll catch you in the next one.